To impact the U.S. airstrikes against the Houthis in Yemen, join me from Washington, D.C. Dr. Michael Rubin, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and a former Pentagon official. Thank you for your time, Dr. Michael. First of all, you suggested before that the U.S. should step in to help the Yemenis get rid of the Houthi nightmare. Do you think yesterday's strikes represent the first sign of that help?
Let me say this. I hope they do. I hope that the United States is consistent. The Houthis get their supply of weaponry in three ways: through Sana'a International Airport, through the port of Hodeidah, and then by smuggling from Oman. It's important to tackle those three items. What makes yesterday's airstrike special, however, is the United States showed resolve by targeting the Houthis where they sleep, targeting the Houthi leaders. Only when the Houthi leaders face personal ramifications for their actions do we have a hope of defeating the scourge. There's no reason why ordinary Yemenis should die for the Houthi leaders. It's time to make the Houthi leaders pay the ultimate price.
But how do we consider the real impact of the strikes, and how do we make sure the strikes would harm the Houthis and not civilians?
You know, that's always the problem with military action, and that's the reason why the Houthis embed themselves in civilian areas. The only advice I could give to the Yemenis, including the family members of Houthi leaders, if you know your husband or your father is a Houthi leader, stay 100, 200 meters away from them, because you will not be safe living in the same house. You will not be safe being a human shield.
Okay, and how do the Houthis react to these strikes? How would they react to it?
Look, the Houthis are going to react with bluster. They always react with bluster. But they need to calculate. You know, the age of Joe Biden is over. The United States isn't simply going to keep taking attacks on the hope of diplomacy. The fact of the matter is the Houthis started this war. They're not the recognized government. My advice to the Houthis would be that they should join Bashar al-Assad in Moscow, or perhaps in Tehran, but they shouldn't terrorize the Yemeni people anymore. The heart of Yemen is the internationally recognized government. The real government of Yemen right now is in Aden, and it's time the Houthis recognize this.
Dr. Michael, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.